Spencer, the referee again. So best of 5 and Joe Perry to break. The match on table 2, Robert Milkins against Ricky Walden. That's just starting. Mark Selby, one of his great qualities is that he tries as hard in every frame of every tournament wherever he is, whether it's the decider in a world final or here, Group 2 at Crondon Park. He's going to give it everything. Loves playing snooker. He even enjoys practicing, which certainly a lot of players don't. Well, may not have enjoyed that one so much. That just went wrong, although it could have finished worse. Could certainly have left Perry an easy pot. This is still on, but as you can see, it's awkward with the red just hampering queuing. But nicely done. Of course, he's had plenty of table time on this table against Trump. So I'm sure he's delighted to just carry on. I think when players win, they like to just carry on and take that confidence into the next match. Well,
5.
That's not worked out as intended.
Joe Perry 5.
I mentioned the 2-cushion escape in the previous frame. Judd Trump played it, coming off the 2 cushions, then glancing off the pack, and I said that Cliff Thorburn, he said to have invented it. I had a tweet from someone watching, Brian Butler, who said that the shot is a straight pull shot. It was invented by someone called Irving Crane, and Cliff Thorburn learned it from his mentor, George Chenier. So thanks for that information, Brian. So it was Thorburn who effectively introduced it into snooker. It's become a common shot now, but still a tricky one to play. Judd Trump in that match played it well. Well, the Reds have scattered, so there's a big break on for someone. Oh my word, it could be Mark Selby. That has gone all wrong for Joe Perry. He might be sat down a while here.
One. Eight. 9. $14. $15.
Well, he's made a ricket here if he's not on the black. It's unusual for Selby. Usually a very careful player, but messed that up, I'm afraid. Nominated the blue. Well, if you're going to take this on, it's a big shot. Oh, cracking shot, because he was always playing for this red. He's actually not finished well on it, but a great pot, that.
20.
Now, it's a tricky cutback if he plays the pot. Well, he's in a very attacking mood, isn't he, Mark Selby?
21.
No, he's unlucky really there. 2 good pots, but he's lost position, and this time it's going to have to be safety. But just shows that the fact he's got 2 points on the board, those 2 wins, he feels that he can afford to attack.
Mark Selby 21.
Albeit the break has finally ended at 21. But he played a good safety. He didn't just, in frustration, as you do see some players do, just sort of play the white down the bulk end. He thought about what he was doing. He got it on the cushion, trying to force another error out of Joe Perry. And he has done. It was okay till it caught the knuckle of the pocket. Just a question of whether the reds are all covering one another, whether Selby can actually see one. Well, this one, it's a thin cut to the corner. But he's potting them cleanly, isn't he, Selby? Well, from what we've seen, he's going to take the brown on here. Knowing full well that were he to miss it, he'd be leaving reds. But he's not missed it. And it's finished nicely. He holds his hand up, but he was a little unlucky earlier, so I guess it's kind of evened itself out.
$6. $12. $13. $19. $20.
So that safety shot he played when he got the cue ball tight to the baulk cushion has yielded
26.
this opening. And as I say, it was thought through. He didn't just play the cue ball any old way down the baulk end. He thought about what he was doing, and it's proven to be a very good decision, because this is a good chance to take the frame. Pink puts him 49 in front. A couple of reds and colours should see him home. And it's an advantage to have that red safe by the black. It ties them both up. Perry's going to need them,
34.
worried to come back to the table. Mark Selby, 3 times the winner of the Masters. Will be one of the favourites, of course, next week again. He's been in 5 finals there
40.
at the Wembley Arena and now Alexandra Palace.
$41.
Perry already needs snookers, the pink, to make absolutely sure. Put him 63 in front with just 51 on. So Mark Selby, well, his great run continues. He won the last 3 frames against Judd Trump, all 3 frames against Ricky Walden, and now this one. So that's 7 on the spin for the Leicester man.
48.
That was nicely done as well. Freeing the red, landing on the black. He's one of those players who would like to clear up. He's not just going to whack the balls about. He'd like to
55.
clear up. That's the sort of player he is. But this is a tough one along the cushion. So the break ends at 55. And a great effort that from Mark Selby. Good frame from him. He leads Joe Perry 1-0. Yes, Selby a bit of a specialist at the Masters. As I say, 3 titles from 5 finals. It's the game's biggest invitation event. Every match feels like a final because there's only one table, big crowd. Of course, it's just the top 16 in the world. So he's got that to look forward to next week. He's playing Ricky Walden first round. Joe Perry's up against Barry Hawkins, who's already played today. Lost out 3-2, but of course best of 11 in the Masters. So all these players looking to find some form before that. But of course this is a big tournament in its own right. It's 10,000 to the eventual winner, but a lot of money to be earned along the way. Ronnie O'Sullivan picked up 6,600 for his 2 days' work. Just missed out on the high break. That was another 500, but it went to Ricky Walden. But not a bad couple of days for the Rocket. Made 7 centuries. So he's the first man into the winners group. Another 6 to be found, of course, the first of those tomorrow night. Then we have a couple of weeks off before we're back for groups 3 and 4. Got the likes of Neil Robertson, Stuart Bingham, Marco Fu coming in. Some big hitters still to come. Stephen Maguire is here. Graham Dott as well. But anyway, we're ready for frame 2. Mark Selby has won his last 7 frames that he's played today. Well, this time, not such a good safety from Selby, just catching the yellow. Makes a difference if the player can get his hand on the bed of the table as opposed to on the rail. And also when the cue ball's close to the cushion, it makes cueing more awkward. Although with the yellow being where it is, it's still slightly awkward. Caught that a little thin, but it's okay. Well, some good safety being played here. Red's opening up as well. The actual game of snooker in terms of the rules and the aims barely changed since it was invented in the late 19th century in India by British Army officers. The word snook was an insult that the officers used for some of the juniors, so it makes you wonder what the game could have been called. Could do with this behind the brown. Yes, he's covered the red on the left-hand side. Well, first real chance for Perry then.
One. Six. Seven. $13.
Oh dear. Well, you could tell from the sigh and now the gesturing that that's gone wrong. Perry needs to just simmer down here and do really what Selby did before. Okay, it's gone wrong. Just accept it and play a good safety. Because Mark Selby did that in the first frame, and from the chance he got, he won the frame.
Yeah, sure.
That's with the spider. Very frustrating, of course, but it can only affect what's to come rather than what's already happened.
Cheers, Joe, thanks. Joe Perry 13.
Well, I think the word here is cagey. Well, not a lot happening here at the moment. Well, this just may open things up a little. But what we're going to see now, reds are going to start going down the table, I suspect. Some players don't have the patience for this sort of game, but Mark Selby's not one of them. He does have the patience. Well, went for broke, but didn't get too close to it. Selby got closer, but still it stayed out. At least the colours haven't been tied up. You see that sometimes in these sort of frames, but they're all kind of available, so this is a chance for a break for Joe Perry. Sometimes you come to the table and the black's on the cushion, the pink's tied up, but that's not the case here. Perry would have another match to play tonight against Ricky Walden on table 2, but this is Mark Selby's last match. He's back tomorrow for 3 more.
Nine. $15. 16. 18. 19. 24. 25. 28.
44 in front.
31.
Still,
Yeah, sure.
you feel enough reds to go out to win the frame here. And it's not often that Mark Selby loses an epic safety battle. In the end, it's because he went for a pot and missed it. He wasn't, Selby wasn't out-safetied, but as I say, missed that red to the yellow bag, and that's why he's back in his seat.
Cheers, thanks. 32. $39. $40.
Black makes the lead 60. Another red and a black, 68 with 67 on. Little bit of a risk going into them. You can't guarantee how it's going to work out, and it's not worked out great, frankly.
47.
Can understand why he did it. He just needed to get on one, really. This pots, but it's tricky. Sounded like a bit of a kick, actually, but it's gone in, and he does have a shot at the black. And if he pots the black, Mark Selby needs a snooker. Deep breaths. Well done. Would like another red, of course, because it's only one snooker needed, but Joe Perry
55.
with a good break in the end here. So Mark Selby
55.
needs a snooker, otherwise it's 1-1. Oh, what a cracking pot, and that should bring this frame to a conclusion. In fact, Selby's conceded it. So Joe Perry put together in the end, after that long safety duel, he put together a good frame, a break of 55, and then that red secures the second frame. So Mark Selby won, Joe Perry won the latest score here. It's also an all-English affair on the other table, Robert Milkins against Ricky Walden. Walden's won the first frame. Milkins is 23-0 up, as you can see, in the second. These two were survivors from yesterday. Ronnie O'Sullivan beat Walden in the semis, and he beat Milkins in the final of Group 1. Ricky Walden lost 3-0 to Mark Selby in his first match of the day, and Milkins lost 3-1 to Mark Williams. So both looking for their first points. So 1-0 to Walden, that continues. And we continue with frame 3 of a possible 5, Joe Perry having won the second to level up at 1 apiece.
Third frame. Joe Perry to break.
Winning that last frame ended Selby's run of 7 successive frames across 3 matches today. Well, Selby slightly gone walkabout here. That's again just an unexpected error from him. Jester not smiling at the moment. One thing I will say for Selby, and it's certainly stood him in good stead over the years, is his concentration always seems so good. Even when frames go a bit scrappy and some players might lose their focus, he never seems to. And I think that does go back to the pure love he has for playing snooker, which he retains. Having been a pro now for some 17 years, Mark Selby 32 years of age, but really in the prime of his career. Well, there's a long red to go out here to the left corner. Ooh, a long way off. As I say, just slightly lost his way here.
Cheers, shot, thanks. 1. Three. 4. Seven. Eight.
Well, it's a bit early, I think, to say that Perry started to take control, but this last sort of 10 minutes or so, he's looked by far the stronger of the two. Selby's making errors. And Joe Perry has been around long enough to know that, particularly in a match that's this short, got to make it pay when your opponent is struggling. Keep him in that seat, stewing on things.
15. 16. 23. 24. 31. 32.
'So he's building a nice lead here, but just running out now of loose reds.
39. 40. 'Brown ball.
Still the one red out in the open. Oh, he's overdone this a little. Still on the red.
44. 45.
Well, it's just a question really what sort of angle he has on the black, because he's going to have to disturb them now to keep the break going, and he's a little straight on this black. Just seeing if there's a red that goes to the left middle, which would help. Well, it obviously does go from the way he's played that. Half century up.
52. 53.
But once again, he's going to have to... Well, unless... Well, that red does go, so he doesn't have to go into them, actually. Black puts him 64 in front. So he's not far away now from clinching this frame. Well, he's decided to go into them.
$60.
He has a couple to go at here, and he only needs a red and a colour, really. Just not quite happy, though. Changed his mind. Well, changed it again. In the end, didn't want to risk it. So a good 60. He leads by 64, the 75 on. Super pot.
1.
Well, he couldn't, could he, produce another one of his great clearances. He's made a few down the years from behind, Mark Selby, and I guess there's, well, one red in particular that's awkward, the one on the just off the left-hand side cushion. But this frame could have been over already. Perry was nicely in, broke down on 60.
Blue ball. Six. Seven. 14. 15. 22. 23.
Well, he's mopped up the easy ones, but now it gets a little more complicated. Just needs to slow down. He's gone too far.
28.
Don't know whether he overhit that or whether it's just sprung off the cushion. He may have been a little too heavy. 36 in it. Perry only needs one red. Selby needs the lot.
Mark Selby, 28.
Well, a rather heavy contact that, and he's left, well, two potential pots on. Selby having the cue ball clean, but that was not a nice contact, but for that, cue ball would have been somewhere near the cushion. Much tougher for Selby. Well, a chance here. A frame Perry always looked to be in control of. But Mark Selby's back in. Ooh, my word, he flirted with disaster there. He needs a colour here because he's 35 behind with 35 on. So he must pot this, otherwise he can only tie. Selby has a reputation for winning close frames and close matches. This is going to go down to the black if he wins this frame. But he doesn't pot the red.
Selby 4.
Fluke the snooker. Second prize. played that very positively. Not half-hearted at all. Nearly fluked it, but again, he's got a good result. Well, it's one good pot to lead 2-1. But that isn't it. He'll be very disappointed if he does eventually lose this frame, because as I say, he was in control. But gradually, Selby's got back into it. Well, this isn't too friendly. A couple of kisses there. Well, bottom line is you've got to hit the red, because if he doesn't, he needs a snooker. So Mark Selby suddenly finds himself in a spot of bother here. Well, he has hit it. And it's okay. Well, in fact, he went for the pot. It was thin. And well, unless the blue comes to his aid here, unless the blue comes to his aid, he's been very lucky there, as Joe Perry, because that was a chance definitely for Selby to win this frame. Got away with that. Well, somehow Selby's got a chance now to win the frame. Frame that could have been over several times already. Both balls being cleaned, it looked like another bad contact. In fairness, the conditions have been pretty good overall, but anyway, Mark Selby, as I say, with a chance here. He's 32 behind, so first things first, he needs at least the blue off the red, and then all the colours.
One.
Got to be pink. Well, why is he taking the green? And he's a snooker now. Well, what's he doing?
4.
I don't know why he didn't just play the pink. It was possible. Yeah, he just said he misread the scoreboard. I thought that must have been what had happened. Well, I suppose it happens to the best of us, and the worst of us for that matter, but it happened to Mark Selby there. Just lost the plot slightly. That was me saying how great his concentration was earlier. It wasn't so good there. He realised eventually, and has laid the snooker, but he's 28 behind with 27 on. Well, Perry will be even more annoyed if he somehow loses this frame now, after that. Pink is kind of in the way to, I think, to go off this right cushion. Looks like he's trying to swerve around the green. Well, now back to the left-hand side cushion.
Foul.
Selby can win again.
Selby 4.
Turned into a rather strange frame, this.
Yeah.
Sort of frame you could certainly see Selby winning despite misreading the scoreboard and taking the green to leave himself needing a snooker. Well, he immediately laid one and it's worked. Starting to think Perry's destined to lose this frame. He was in such a strong position, in on 60. I think he did have a pot on to the left middle, but he played safe. Not absolutely sure that red was on, but he took a long time looking at it, decided to play safe. Now, of course, he might have missed the pot and lost the frame, but here we are, about 15 minutes on, with Mark Selby still able to win if he were to clear the colours. Yellow's in.
2.
But the cue ball's going to be on the cushion.
Mark Selby 2.
Well, he's chipping away and just trying to force another opening. 22 in it, 25 on. Just a hard match player. Mark Selby would have been in his element, I think, in the 80s with the Thorburns and the Griffithses and the Charltons. It was a chance, not easy, and it stays out. Perry still not over the line in this frame. Needs the green to stop. 26.5 minutes now, this frame. We had the longest ever frame this season. Just over 100 minutes between Barry Pinches and Alan McManus. Thankfully I wasn't commentating. But what happened was the black got stuck close to a pocket and they just kept playing safe for literally about 40 minutes. Until eventually it dropped. Well, that little nudge there looks like it's a snooker, unless he can get through the middle. Well, it looks like he can, between pink and brown. So the battle continues. Perry just needing the green, Selby needing them all, but there's nothing safe really, so if he were to pot the green he'd have every chance. Well, just turning that screw still. Got him in a snooker. He's hit the black. It could be a free ball.
And a miss.
Depends whether he can see both sides of the green. I think he probably can.
Mark Selby 7. Free ball.
Well, no, he can't. So it's a free ball. Well, this is calamity for Perry. He can take the black here as the green. It would count for 3. Perry shaking his head. Fearing the worst now. Well, that's just sprung a bit off the cushion, but he's still on this green. Albeit, it's probably going to be going into the black now, so position for brown not guaranteed. So this is this frame not necessarily over yet. He may just play the snooker. But he is in control. Looks like snooker here. Yep, again turning that screw.
Mark Selby's 3.
Cue ball just sprung a little off the top cushion. He wasn't really on the green. Perry sort of ambling back to the table, not enjoying this. Being put through the mill. That is a fantastic shot. To hit the green and get it safe. Brilliant. We're past the half-hour mark for the frame. Still no idea who's going to win it.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, two very seasoned professionals here, battling away. Seems a long time since Joe Perry made his 60 break in this frame. Perry will need green and brown. Oh, he's got away with that one. Green and Cue could have finished anywhere, but he's still alive in the frame. He's bang under pressure because he probably feels he should have won it by now, but at least he hasn't lost it yet. But again, Selby relentless, getting him in a snooker. Well, in fact, he could come off the back cushion. Just a question of whether you can see the potting angle there. As I say, he needs green and brown to lead by 19 with 18 on. But in fact, he's completely snookered. Got one back though. The in-off would have been unlucky. In the end, it's awkward cueing from the jaws in the middle pocket. But he's knocked the green in.
3.
He needs the brown as well. "34 minutes for the frame. Could have been over a long time ago, this. And let's be honest, he's going to need the blue as well because Selby is nailed on to play on. But first of all, the brown. Oh dear.
3.
It stays in the jaws. Well, it's felt like a sort of archetypal Selby frame, and he may well be the winner now. He's got to pot the last 3 colours. When he potted the last red and took the green, not realising that he needed a snooker, he needed at least a blue. That could have finished lesser players off, that little brain freeze, but he immediately laid a snooker, and here he is, needing pink and black to lead 2-1, a frame that Joe Perry was a long way in front in after his 60 break. But Mark Selby has demonstrated once again his incredible battling qualities here. And somehow he's won the frame. He had to work so hard for it, but he's got there in the end, just under 36 minutes, and Mark Selby wins the frame to lead 2-1. 2-1 is also the score on table 2, where The good thing about this event, you do get to come back. Milkins earned £4,200 and obviously more to come from this group. Sullivan had 2 centuries in the final, 7 in the group, 6 of them yesterday. He took his career tally to 802. Not too shabby. Ronnie, the first man into the winners group, which we played early March. 7 respective winners to take their places in that. Stuart Bingham won it last year, of course. He'll be here later on in the competition. So 2-1 to Ricky Walden over there. And our match is 2-1 to Mark Selby, and he won a Selby-esque frame there, didn't he? That was at times like pulling teeth, but again he stuck to his task. He always seemed to be kind of in control, and he got the frame on the board. He leads 2-1. Don't be surprised if he dashes off a break here to win this frame. Well, Joe Perry made a 60 break and was very close to clinching that last frame, but that's all gone now. He's got to try and put it to one side and get on with this one. And that's a great start.
Oh.
And a chance to immediately go into the reds off the black. Could play down for the loose one in the middle of the table. That's what he's doing. And I guess leave an angle on the blue to attack the reds. Full into the pink. Well, a nice big break here would banish the blues from the last frame, I guess. So this shot to get the reds open. Just check for, well, see if there's any plants there. I don't think there are in terms of reds going in the corner. Just sort of glanced off the pink a little there, but he is still on a red, and reds have opened up, so chance to get going here.
$15? Yeah, sure.
Prefer this to the 20 minutes or so of a pain he was put through by Mark Selby. Did have a couple of chances to kill it off, but couldn't quite take them. But anyway, it's another frame, and the match still very much alive. Well, again, it wasn't great, but he's still on the red.
20.
Not interested, though. Didn't want to risk it, so playing safe.
Joe Perry, 20.
20 in front.
Foul and a miss. Joe Perry, 4. Yeah. Oh, it might be any marks. He'll give us a clue. A bit further. Yeah. Yeah. I thought, yeah. Oh, right, okay. Right, how's that? Yeah, John? Yeah.
Well, that must have rolled off.
Joe Perry 4. Yeah.
It's always a bit of a risk at that speed. He'll be playing it again. The question is, will he be playing it again at the same speed? Because if he missed second time, he'd be warned the third that it's end of frame.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe? Yeah.
It's happened again, so as I say, he's going to be warned now by Rob Spencer, the referee, that if he misses a third time,
Yeah.
frame awarded to Joe Perry. We saw it yesterday with Ricky Walden in a slightly different situation. He was snookered. But the warnings are going to come.
Joe? Mark, you must stay red now.
So he's going to have to change the shot. He can't play that again. Playing the one on the right-hand side instead. Yes, it was Monday, in fact, where Walden lost that frame. First frame of the match, actually, against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Anyway, Selby has made contact this time. Oh, well. He's scratching his head at that one. Could have done without the knuckle. First glance, though, no real damage done. Well, it was a good pot, but he's got no position. last half an hour or so has been a bit of a trial one way and another for Joe Perry. Just got to try and put Selby in trouble, try and force another opening, because the Reds are there, and one more chance he may well make it 2-2.
Joe Perry 1.
Pushing the brown into a safe position for a bit of security. Cue ball close to the back cushion. Pretty good shot.
Foul.
That's a pretty good shot at billiards, but not necessarily at snooker. But, well, I suppose the only good news is there's distance between them. It's not as bad as if the white had rattled and left a red on. Yes, a good length on the safety from Selby. Perry just tapping the table in appreciation. And he's earned an opening. Table's a little messy. Pig tied up, black not great, but the blue's available. The reds are certainly available for Mark Selby. Just maybe just a little straight here in terms of getting the white out. He's done well though.
Whoa.
Still got the blue to the yellow pocket. So Selby earns his chance. It's not straightforward, as I say, because pink and black not great, but he is in at least. Well, he's obviously not on that red. I thought he was to the left corner. He isn't, so it's just safety. Doesn't pass the other red. Well, it's not just safety. He's gone for a very ambitious cut there. And he's left it on.
Selby 6.
Thought he was closing the shop. He in fact left the doors wide open.
One. 4. Joe Perry 4.
Yes, the problem here is that pink not available, black awkward, keep going down for the blue. It's the cube was having to travel distances and making the pots more difficult. The ideal thing here would be to get the black back on its spot. Well, got to pot the red first.
Thanks, Mark.
It's all gone a bit scrappy. But Joe Perry's 35 in front. He's got a useful lead, which he would like to increase at this visit.
1.
Now then, he can get the black back on its spot. It's not a straightforward pot. Well, it's going to be blue. Well, that was the idea anyway.
Thanks, Joe. Joe Perry 1.
You can tell a scrappy frame by looking at the position of the colours, and there's only one on its spot, that's the green. It's a struggle at the moment. I can tell you Ricky Walden's won 3-1 against Robert Milkins. But this match has just, well, sort of ground to a halt, really.
One. Six. Seven. Twelve.
Well, now it starts to get difficult where the reds are.
13.
Not a great angle on the blue either.
18. Okay. 90.
Now a chance on the blue to disturb the reds round the pink. If this comes off, he opens everything up. It's a chance to win, possibly. So big shot this. Got into them pretty well.
24.
He has the red along the cushion. frame has certainly opened up as a result of that last shot. Earlier on, though, Joe Perry deliberately put the brown on the side cushion. Looking like a good decision, that, because Selby's going to need it. And it's possible this frame now could revolve around that brown.
32.
But after a lot of missing and mistakes, Selby has come to life in this frame. Sensing blood, sensing a chance to win. Frame a match. He's gone in front with that blue.
.38.
Well, he's going to send the red around the table, one would think, and try
44.
and get Perry in some trouble. He's 8 points in front. Well, he's gone to cut it in.
Mark Selby, 44.
But played it with a heavy degree of safety in mind as well. So, as I say, leads by 8 points. Not safe enough. Yes, I thought he was going to send the red round the table, but anyway, we shall see if Perry now can make this 2-2. Of course, the point is he also needs the brown now. Well, obviously yellow and green not available.
Joe Perry 1.
Playing the snooker. But that brown is a factor now for Perry, even if Selby leaves this yellow on. Knock the black to the cushion as well, that could make a difference now. All these little things to come in the frame. Another battle coming up on the colours. Well, he's brought the brown out. He's brought the brown out. And he's left the yellow on. That could be calamity for Joe Perry. Selby needs yellow to blue to win. Well, you've got to admire Mark Selby. I mean, he's so tough. The way he won that last frame, and indeed in this frame, it was not a promising position, but he got right back into the frame, and this is his chance, as I say, to win it.
5.
Brown and blue needed.
9.
He's okay. And he's also got the security where the black is, but I don't think he's going to miss this. Well, Mark Selby, not for nothing is he world #1. He's a battler. He's a fighter. He's dug deep again. Blue for victory. In it goes, and he's not going to miss the pink. So, well, Mark Selby, it was the third frame, wasn't it, that really was the killer blow for Joe Perry. He was in front in the fourth, but Mark Selby has clinched victory. It's his third of the day. He is so tough, isn't he? Mark Selby, the master, once again, of brinkmanship, gets the point. 3 out of 3 for him. He'll be back tomorrow, because that's it for him. But, of course, not for us. We've got an hour for our food, and then we'll be back for more tonight. But we can show you, I think we'll see Mark Selby top of the league table, because 3 wins out of 3. There he is. 3 out of 3. Mark Williams has got 2 points, very close in the other placings, but we're still relatively early in this league. 3 players on 1 point, a couple yet to get off the mark, Trump and Milkins, but it can all change tonight.